We have a whole bunch of guys who were here a couple weeks ago who had the audacity to say they want to come back and challenge me on my Knicks. I just felt like saying that because I know that's not the case,
Well,
because we are all in sync
first thing I
with
want to
how this
say
team has been doing.
first thing I want to say is this: Go Mets. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Nick. Sorry.
Funny man.
No,
I used to know that. I used to know this guy named Glenn. Used
Nick's
to.
did the thing, man. I'm telling you, I got to give him credit.
Yeah, man. That was a serious game last
That
night.
game last night. Oh my goodness.
I just we didn't get a chance to talk last week because I
Hmm.
was counting them out against the Kings,
I
Hmm.
did too.
you
I
know.
did too. I didn't think they're gonna beat the Kings.
Hmm.
But the female sportscaster, she made a good point,
Oh, Monica.
which I didn't know
Monica
about. She said,
McNutt.
which I didn't know
Hmm.
about the Kings. She said that they're not used to playing that way.
Physical? No.
Physicality and
What West team truly is, you know.
That's
yeah,
what I wanted to ask. That's what I wanted to ask.
Hmm.
They said something about the the um the NBA sent out a
Yeah.
memo.
Yeah. They said, remember, they're gonna be more allow for more balance in the game, which basically means um, offense and defense. You're not gonna have the inherent advantages on the offensive end as they would do before. So they're
mm,
going to be calling less fouls.
because I'm going to
Hmm.
be honest with you now. You
Hmm.
know me. I am a huge Nick fan.
Hmm.
Huge.
Hmm.
But I have to admit, a couple of times last night, some calls should have been made against the Knicks.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because
like in
because,
other things, like in other
because
games, it should have been the other way too.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Hmm.
I'm just talking about last night particularly.
Hmm. Hmm.
I I heart or Hartenstein as they call him now. They call him I heart.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Um,
don't care about that.
but uh, um, Hartenstein, he on one play he actually hooked the other guy. I forgot his name, the center,
Sabonis. Hmm.
Sabonis. He hooked him, and he actually pulled him down.
Hmm.
Mm.
And they didn't call it. And I was like, what?
Hmm.
And that's when Monica mentioned about how they what that it may not have been then, but someplace in there
Hmm.
she mentioned that
Yeah.
the NBA come up with this memo and said this and said that.
Yeah, I think it was
And
the beginning of March. I think that they sent it out.
yeah, but
Mhm. No.
that plays right. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy,
Hmm. Hmm.
but that plays right into Tibbs' hand.
Oh yeah. Oh
If
yeah.
if you tell Tibbs that you can beat us up and we ain't won't make a call,
Hmm.
it's go right back to his Pat Riley days and
Hmm.
his Jeff Van Gundy days when they were coaching the Knicks
Hmm.
and all they did was and I don't believe they were dirty. I
It
just
just
believe
was physical. It just was physical.
I don't think the Knicks is a dirty team.
no, they're just physical. They just play
Yeah,
hard. You know,
yeah, they
They're
play
going.
all out.
They're going to touch you a little bit. You know, they're not giving you elbows and nothing like that.
no,
You know,
Yeah,
no.
that's
exactly.
different. You know, but being able to manipulate you by pushing you out for a little bit further so that you don't have your comfort zone, because
Yeah.
these players don't are not used to being touched on the offense side anyway. So you touch them, they're going to be off their routine. So that's to
But
the Knicks' advantage.
because you can definitely tell that they Sabonis was thrown off. Excuse me, last night. You can definitely tell it, and
Yeah, but
not just from the fact that he only had 3 or 4 points
mhm,
in the second half.
mhm,
You just tell his game was he played differently.
mhm.
Yeah.
But even with him, he's used to getting his way on the low post anyway. He's a double digit guy,
That's
Yeah,
exactly
you
what I
know.
was gonna
So,
say.
but
He
he's a
used to get
double.
his
So
way.
he used to get pulling his weight around because he's a solid dude.
Yep.
But someone who puts it back on him, that's another story, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to give it and get it.
If he can't push them around,
Hmm.
that's the problem.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's used to pushing guys out of the way, man. But
Because it's like when he plays against Julius, Julius owns him. because he pushes up or pushes back upon him. So he never has a great game against Julius. Well, in anything, Julius dominates that game with him. You know. Now whether the team wins or not, that's another story. But he dominates that one-on-one matchup,
Yeah.
and it's sad because you know I wish the team was full right now so I can really see how this team was going to be. But I gotta be patient. I really do feel he's gonna if he does come back this year, he's gonna come back the beginning of April and get those last 8 games of the season.
I think that's what they were saying, that he's going to
Mhm.
come back well, they said the end of March, which is the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I meant to say
In
in
the,
the
in, in the March,
end
the
of I
beginning
meant
of
the
April.
end of March, but the beginning of April. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
But and I believe that's what they'll use those 7 or 8 games as a tune-up
Mm-hmm.
for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, for Julius to get everything back together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even if because like the scheduled last 8 games are some tough physical games because they play the Heat, the Kings, the Bulls, the Bucks, the Bulls again, and the Celtics. That's the first of those 6 games in April.
Mm.
And the last two is Brooklyn and Chicago. So I can clearly see him playing those 6 games and taking the last two off just to recoup. But that's what I see it possibly happening since he's already out. But if that was to predict what would happen, I think that would be the case. Play those 6 games, get him real tested for playoffs, and then take those last 2 games off. That will give him basically 2 weeks before the playoff starts and get him right and ready. I think that would be cool. You know, I know I'm jumping ahead, already, but it's like I'm already there from a playoff standpoint.
Well,
It's
really, that's where you have to be, because you're
mm-hmm,
gonna make the playoffs,
mm-hmm,
and you're gonna have that. I would say, if something crazy happens, you may drop down to 6, but
mm-hmm. They've
I
held their spot. I'm surprised they held their spot,
I
man.
am too. I
They
am too.
stayed in the fourth spot throughout all this up and down. Because they were basically since then in January, they basically like a 500 team, you know, which
Yeah.
is I was hoping that they'd get to that mark, stayed as a 500 team, but they've maintained it. I was very impressed with that. That's almost like a 20 game spans.
I think it works to their advantage too, as long as they're winning. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have to think about rushing
Mm-hmm.
Julius back. So
That's true too, Jim. That's a very good point. I was thinking the same thing. They, they can take their time and letting them come back. Because I
Mm-hmm.
saw him last night, doing a couple of timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was walking around talking and smiling and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this may sound ridiculous, but he didn't seem like he was grimacing at all in any
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they say that he's actually been practicing, just no contact.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So just getting his
So,
wind up. But the biggest
yeah.
concern, of course, going to be the contact because they're going to test him. They're going to test that shoulder.
yeah.
Especially if he come back against Miami, they're going to test that shoulder.
Well, oh, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. And I the other team that will possibly test them too, if they go up against them, is the Magic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they don't have any more games against them for the rest of the year. They played their last
Well,
few
I'm
games.
talking about doing the playoffs.
Oh, play. And right now they will play them, which will be interesting. You know, so they're the 5th seed.
Mm.
Because they got that big boy
Yeah, Paulo.
at 6'10",
Mm-hmm.
and he loves the bang.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the bang. So we will see. But let me ask you something. I've been holding this question. I asked it a couple of weeks, about a couple of months ago actually, and then I kind of pulled it back,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pursue it anymore. Let me ask you, at this point, I don't remember, first of all, what you said when it came down to signing Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts on that?
What do you mean signing Brunson?
Like the money and so forth, and do you think it was a good deal, or
Oh yeah,
You thought it was a
yeah. I said that when he signed.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking. I don't
Yeah, I
remember
said that when he signed. Yeah.
because a lot of people was saying that they thought it was that they gave him too much money.
Well, that because they didn't think he was that good.
Right.
That's why they said that. Not because he is that good, he deserved it, but that he wasn't worth the money, and
That's
that's
what
why
I
they
mean.
overpaid. Yeah, they overpaid him. But
Were you one of those persons?
no, I knew
No.
Brunson was going to be great.
See, I didn't. I thought he
Mhm.
was going to be good.
I knew he was going to be. I knew he
I
was
didn't
going to
think
be
he was
worth the
going to
money. I
be.
should say he was
I
going to
think
be
he's going
worth
to
the
be
money.
this good.
I think it's going to be worth this good. No, I think it's going to be worth the money what they spent, which is basically just 20, just 25 a year, barely that. And for a starter point guard, that's what they basically what they go for. But he surpassed that money, that value of the contract. He's playing more at the 35,
Yeah.
$40 million level.
Yep.
But for the money, yeah, I thought he was going to be worth that money. Yes, most definitely. But
Yeah.
having this level of impact and the most impact that he's had, he's been able to keep Randall closer to the team
Mhm.
and be able to be controlled to an extent, whereas he didn't have that level of impact on the team before, that's the biggest impact because now it's a true two-man tandem that they can really play off each other. They've really been able to develop that. So they're able to maximize Randall's effectiveness on the court. Because even like last year, he was shooting too many threes, and they was able to get him to get out of that mode to be more of an inside guy, which was the
He
best thing
Randall.
for the team. Yeah. Randall shot so many 3 pointers last year, it was ridiculous.
He
He was
did.
shooting
He
like,
shot a lot. He shot a
and
lot.
then he's shooting like 8 a game. This year he was shooting like 4. But before he got hurt, he was starting to ramp up, which I was kind of getting kind of mad at. But
Yeah. So was
mhm. but since when OG came in, he was shooting more threes at that time, which I didn't like because you need him down low. And I hope that when he comes back, that's my biggest concern when he comes back is that component because he's not going to want to be as physical, and that means he has to stay outside and shoot them threes, which I think that's the waste of his abilities. He's not as effective in that game. It doesn't open up the game for the team at that point.
So you weren't one of those persons who thought
Yeah.
Brunson was
Go back to the videotape, bro.
No,
I
no,
was
no. I really didn't. I wasn't making
no,
an
no. I'm I'm
accusation
I'm I'm telling those who are listening. Go back to the videotape.
because I really don't. I really didn't
That
remember
was the beginning of season 4.
because
You
I
can
was
look at
thinking about it the
the
other day,
free
and I
agent
said,
signings.
I wonder what Trevor said about that.
Hmm.
I said because I wonder because I know you. I didn't know why. I didn't remember one thing
Hmm.
that you told me you followed him and he was in Villanova,
Hmm. Hmm.
and you said he was good at Villanova,
Yeah.
and
Great
and
point
and,
guard.
and I remember that, and he
He
told me how
kept the
good.
team with
He
both
told
their
me how
championships.
he told me how good he was with Dante
Dante.
and
Oh.
also
Hmm. With
Josh.
with Josh. Yeah. It's their first championship. Hmm.
And, but so I did remember that. I just couldn't remember, what you thought about him as a player because clearly in Dallas,
Dallas, he got offered half the money though. They wouldn't even offer him half the money.
really,
Yeah, they wouldn't.
what are they crazy?
Pretty much. They
he was
didn't
pretty,
felt
he
he
was
was
pretty
worth.
good in Dallas
They,
too.
they felt he wasn't worth that money.
You know, and he was good in Dallas.
I thought it was pretty good in Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. He helped them win their first 2 rounds. The first rounds particularly because they won that first round, and then Luka was out, for the first 3 games, and he held the game. He got him a 2-1 lead against Utah.
Yeah, you
And
can see the
mhm,
potential in his,
mhm,
you know,
mhm.
his position as a point guard. You see, he was really good.
Yeah. So it
His,
was
his guy,
it definitely.
the guy has been incredible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't know he was that good.
Yeah.
I really didn't either.
His play has jumped another level.
It has.
I
It
thought
has.
he was. I feel he was going to be very effective as a leader of the team. Get his points and get the team, and that's like he played mostly like he did in Villanova. But his offensive game has surpassed my expectations. He's really developed his offensive game to the point to where I didn't see that
And
component in Villanova itself.
and defensively, he's second in the league in taking charges.
Yeah, he does that.
Mhm.
That's his game.
That's really impressive. He
And
can
he
he,
he gives you defensive effort. I mean, he can't. he can't.
Yeah.
He can stay in front of somebody. He can't stop him. He's too small for that. Something like they can bully him around, but they can't bully him as much. He's a
Yeah.
solid kid, you know.
No, what he loses in height, he gets back in strength.
Yeah.
You know, so push him around is not easy.
No,
Yeah.
that's definitely not.
He's an intelligent ball player.
He's
He
very
knows the
intelligent.
game. But let me ask you all this. Remember that move? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Which one? Because
I'm trying to remember the kid with the braids was guarding him. And
Oh,
he looked at the kid, turned his head.
Oh,
He turned back around. My man was gone.
did you see his
Like,
face?
oh no!
he was like, what?
Oh, that was incredible, man. He looked this way,
But
and
did you
then
see his
that
face?
way. He turned back around. He was gone. He said,
He was like this, with that.
ah, that was incredible, man. I said, wow, this kid.
Monica said, man, he only turned around for a second.
Yeah, a second and a half at the most.
That's
He
all
turned this
needed.
way, and it was
That's
just
all he
short. He
needed.
looked at him, and
He
then
was
turned this
gone.
way. He figured he had a little time to turn back. Where did he go?
I think he thought a pick was coming.
Probably.
But he was gone.
Whatever it was, he thought wrong. That was sweet, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And he reacted that quick to it too. So they say he's slower than you think, but he can get to where he needs to get.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now you know who has been very impressive too. You got to give him a lot of credit. Josh.
Oh, I'm surprised at him. From the standpoint of how is this 6'4" guy getting all and it's a lot of heart. No pun intended.
Yeah.
This dude is rebounding like he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something. I'm like,
I mean, because he played that style. He did everything in college as well.
Swiss Army
Say again? Yeah, Swiss Army guy. Yeah, the Swiss Army guy. But I think I always thought that he didn't progress his offensive game, but his style is effective. He straight line player. He's not going to give you any wiggle, and he's going to be tough at the rim.
He's always aggressive. That's what I like about him. He's looking to get to that, and if he can't get to the basket, he's a good passer too.
Yeah, his passing surprised me. The passing surprised me, being able to set up like that.
But when you're 6'4", and you're grabbing 12, 13, 19 rebounds. I mean, you're like, come on, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, he almost had a 20-20 game the other day. I'm like,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Against Philly, he was against Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's playing like 39, 41, 43. Come on, man, all these minutes.
Yeah.
He is,
well, just like you, Glenn, he's on his diet program is causing him to be much more effective on the court. So hey, he's able to stay on the court because of his recovery. He's eating right.
You think that's what it is?
Well, he said it, so that's why.
Really?
Yeah, he said it.
See, I find him to be very impressive.
Yeah. So he changes at the beginning of the season. Started to change his eating habits. And it's led to him being able to have more stamina and recover better. So he went to a vegan diet. He said, "I'm like, what?
Oh, really?"
I said, he's still thick like that. So, okay.
I was watching. They have a podcast.
Yeah, roommates.
I
haven't seen it yet, but
I saw it. I watched a little bit of it the other night, and Dante was on. So him and Dante was telling about a fight that he and Josh got into in college.
I'm not surprised.
And
Josh got a mouth.
No, Dante has a mouth. Because well, Josh said something, and then Dante came up with a couple of curses and whatnot, and so forth. And then he said that he said Josh grabbed me. He said, this dude is strong, man. He said, I couldn't get out. And he put me in the headlock. Said, this dude is strong.
Strength. Strength.
He said, he said, I never seen him lift weights. I never. He said, to this day, I don't see
Really?
him down it. He said, but he must lift, but I don't see him lift. He said to Jalen, does he lift with you? Does he lift with you? I don't never see him lift, but he must be doing something because he is strong. He got to be strong. There's no way in the world at 6'4" you getting rebounds over 7-footers, 6'9", 6'10".
And he does it the old school way with two hands.
Yeah.
Rebound with two hands.
And not running out of energy. You know.
And then he's like a one-man fast break.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he gets the ball, he's gone. And he looks like he's out of control. But
that's the biggest part, but it's control for him. But that's the part that scares me sometimes,
It looks like good shot.
He made it.
Yeah, I see most of the time when he drives to the basket, he has an intention of scoring, and most of the time he's scoring.
The
70%
putback dunk,
of the time,
dunk the other night, I was like, whoa, where you
oh yeah, that was nice.
I'm getting them low like that.
That was nice. I really don't know where he's where he that was one of the nicest trades that they made. People talk about OG being a good trade, and it was a
very good trade.
It was a great trade,
an excellent trade.
But getting Josh was a good trade too, though. It really was.
Yeah, I've liked him since he's been there.
Now speaking of OG, it does seem like he's his elbow is still bothering him a little bit. The way he was shooting, because before Monica said it, I said to myself, he looks like he's not shooting that side jump shot with a lot of confidence. So but Tips kept him in there for his defense.
You can still play the defense. And like I said, it's just the soreness. It's like you're getting up from the surgery, and from that you probably didn't get enough time to properly heal.
Yeah, and he went to the floor on one play that I'm sure that hurt him. He got up, but I'm sure he felt that.
Yes. Now, hold on.
Thank you.
Sorry, my allergies is bad, Trevor. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Now we talked about a lot of the accolades, a lot of the wonderful things. Hartenstein. We talked about our beautiful point guard, OG, and we talked about Hart. Now we got to talk about some negative.
We ain't finished yet. We ain't talk about my boy Precious. Come on now.
Precious is cute, isn't he?
Cute.
I said that because Clyde was talking with a couple weeks ago. Clyde was saying something like that. Like he was making jokes about his name. He's been for a throw-in on a trade. He's incredible.
Yeah, he's not a disappointment.
And it's funny because I heard about him when he was in high school here in the Bronx, and he went to college. He's played one season in college, and then he came into the NBA. I wasn't enamored with his skill set when he was in because he played with Penny in college, and it's funny when you hear all the accolades from the different draft analysts, and then you see the person and you're like, what is the skill? There's no, because you always think that these guys work out all the time. They can dribble, pass, and shoot, but his dribbling is not that great. Passing, decent. Shooting, mostly it's at the rim activities, which is fine. But to have that level of accolades that he's going to be a can't miss product, I'm like, where's the skill at? And the skill really is effort.
Yeah.
Which is great, because a lot of people don't give that. But what I would like to see those players enhance their skill set built because he to be able to you're gonna have the ball in your hand at certain points in the game. You should be able to do more than 1, 2, 3 dribble at this level. You want to see that. You have some little counters. Now whether and I say this a lot about different players, but in itself, but I just hate to see that. That's all you have to do is develop the skill. You should be able to dribble more than twice with the ball at a time. But his effort, his biggest skill is his effort, and he's been very, very effective in his ability to be able to do that. So I'm very happy with his performance.
He is the quintessential Tibbs player.
Hmm
He
It's funny you say that, right? Because he's more like what's the guy? Noah. um,
Noel.
yeah, no, Noah. What's
Noel.
his name? Yeah, he was with Chicago.
Oh, father played tennis.
Yeah, that guy. hmm He's an
Yannick.
effort. Yeah.
Sonic Noah?
That's the father. That's the
That's the
father's name.
father.
Right, I know you're talking about. Yeah,
hmm He played with the Knicks too, but I just forgot, his
yeah.
when he was, but he's that type of a player. Going to give you a lot of effort, strong rebounder, offensive guy, limited offensive game, but
Yeah.
give you a bunch of effort.
That's a good comparison.
hmm
I didn't even think of that.
hmm
Yeah, because
Now,
he.
now, go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just gonna say that I think his strength, his real strength, is his defense.
hmm
And he's not a bad scorer, but it's kind of
hmm
like whatever he gets is kind of like gravy.
hmm hmm
Joe
But it's to
Kim.
the point that
Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah, yeah.
Joakim, no, yeah.
hmm
But it's to the point that I don't worry when he's going for the to take a shot.
hmm
He
Yeah, I don't either.
makes more than he misses in
hmm
most
hmm
games.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah,
like when he shoots the ball, he doesn't shoot that often. But when he does, I don't go, "Oh my God, don't shoot!" It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
that.
I'm not
yeah,
at this point. I'm not. But he makes enough of the corner threes to be effective enough. So you can't fuss at that.
Yeah, listen, his job is to rebound and play defense,
hmm
exactly.
and he does both of those very well.
Yeah.
If he gives you 8 points, 7 points, 10 points, that's gravy. You take it.
Yeah.
hmm
You take it. But do you see the rundown defense that he does?
hmm
Yeah.
Like last night, somebody did a turnover. I forgot who did it, but somebody made a turnover and they had a fast break and he ran them down and blocked the ball.
hmm
Yeah.
Now, when he did that, Tibbs called time and asked him to marry him. But that's the kind of man Tibbs likes. That's what he loves. That's defense.
hmm
He's like,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I'm talking
hmm
about. And that is what gets him playing time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna get him playing time.
Yep.
Because as much as Brunson has kept us above water with his scoring,
hmm
he's kept us above water with his defense
Defense, yeah.
Yep.
and his and and
Defense and rebounding.
and
Yep.
and
Exactly.
hmm
rebounding.
hmm
And quite frankly, he's a better defender than Julius.
Oh yeah, he is.
Definitely.
He moved his feet way better than Julius. And
Yeah.
he got longer arms. He can get into he can effect the shot much better than Julius can. Julius doesn't have really long arms for his
No, he
size.
doesn't.
He
No,
doesn't,
he
and
doesn't.
small hands too.
He doesn't.
He can't palm the ball. You notice that?
Really?
No, you look at Julius. He can't palm the ball.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
hmm
You ready?
Go ahead with your bad stuff. Go ahead.
I gotta say it, bro. We gotta do something. We gotta do something about Deuce, man.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
He can't go north and south, man. All
Yeah,
he can
that's
do
true.
he back and forth across the east west, and he got locked up. We had, if I remember correctly, I know it was two. It may have been three 24-second violations
Yeah.
while Deuce was in there.
hmm
Yeah.
That's bad, man.
Yeah, I would agree.
He has
His grace is not north and south. He's east to west.
Yeah.
Swinging the ball. Yeah, he's not gonna. And that's an area for him. to develop in the summertime
Yeah.
because he's developed his jump shot. He's been very effective in being able to do that to be more reliable from a jump shooter and get to his spots on the floor. And to add that element to his game, that level of quickness, that's going to be something that's developed in the offseason because
What he has to learn to do is to back you down.
I don't think he got the body for that.
Well,
He probably doesn't have the handle for that. To get the ball taken away from him.
Mm-hmm.
If he's backing you down, somebody will steal the ball from him.
and he dribbles too high, first of all.
Yeah, exactly.
He dribbles too high. He's like, he's his shooting has improved tremendously.
Tremendously, yeah.
But his if we would have lost that game last night if it wasn't for Alec Burks.
Which is surprising because he's been stinking it up the past 10 games.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, come on, where's the old Alec Burks? Man, that was left.
him and
You know?
Bogdanovich, they both have not been playing well the past 10 games,
Yeah.
but they played and when they would need to play in the fourth quarter, they needed them and they came through,
Because if we didn't have him, because if you notice when Deuce was on the floor with him, at some point he was handling the ball.
Mm-hmm. And it may just have to be he may have to go back to handling the ball when Deuce is on the floor.
I don't see why not. Because Deuce is terrible. He's just
he dribbles too much.
Dribbles too much. You give the team time to trap you, and if
yeah,
he's not a scrub.
I still say it's a confidence thing too,
Yep.
So. Yeah, but you can't say that he's not getting the playing time.
I don't think it's that aspect of it. Is when you're playing with guys who are equal to you, what you're able to do with guys who are lesser than you is one thing. Being able to do the same thing as guys who have equal talent than you is another. And I don't think he's been able to feel confident in his ability to be able to dominate that one-on-one level, one-on-one game. And that's reality. So he's still playing indecisive at that moment, which causes those 24-second violations.
Pass the ball.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't disagree with you. But that's the indecisiveness right there.
What passing the ball?
And not just the pass, but also passing for a purpose. Because there was there was a game it was 2 games ago. He went into the lane, and he went up in the air, thought he was going to shoot the ball, and he had the open shot, and for whatever reason, he just decided to throw the ball out. And I'm like, you had the shot, take it. I'm like, why wouldn't you just take the shot? But he threw it out, and it went. I don't know what he was seeing, but it went out of bounds. You thought the guy was going to be sliding to the 3-point line, but you're already in the hole, up in the air. You had the open shot, but you still decided to pass it out. And it was passed out to the other side. It was across his body. It wasn't like, to your right, opposite your body. It was across your body. And I'm like, that indecisiveness is killing you. You got to be decisive. If you're going to shoot and you're going to be put on the bench, be put on the bench because you did something that you thought was the right thing to do, not because what you think you're supposed to be doing. And that's what I see with how he plays, He's still indecisive.
I won't put him on the category as I put my other friend in Toronto.
Oh, leave him alone, man. His brother just passed away. Leave him alone.
I don't care who just passed. A scrub is a scrub. But I'm sorry his brother died, but he's a scrub. But I will say that he really has to improve. He really has to improve because that's going to hurt us in the playoffs. That will hurt us in the playoffs because what's going to happen? Either one thing is going to happen. We're going to have to play Burks more, or we got to play Brunson more, and playing Burks more may help hurt us because maybe Burks might not have it as much as we hope he does, and playing Brunson more it might run him down.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on the new guy we just got, Shake Milton. I don't know his game too well. I know he was in Philly. He was somewhat of a 3-point threat, not a great one, but he was somewhat of a threat. But I don't really know his game well enough to be able to say what he can and can't do. as an option for the point guard position. That's what in the write-ups they were talking about his ability to be able to play that point guard as a backup, but I don't recall his game well enough to be able to say that's what he's good at.
Is Shake his real name?
That his professional name, that's what he's called.
And that's because of
no, so his real name is Malik Benjamin. I don't know why they call him Sir Shake.
Did he call him Shake because he's scared of people?
It's actually when you
What
look
they
on
call him? Shake
Basketball Reference, is his
because he got a crossover.
I don't even know why they call him this. It just makes no sense to me.
The shake like a milkshake.
Sniper Shake is his nickname.
Sniper Shake.
Sniper shake. Wow.
I don't even understand why. I have no idea, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so I just think Deuce has to really, really improve because that second unit, especially the way Tibbs plays his second unit, that second point guard is really important, man.
Well, you think, he's gonna in the playoffs, he's gonna get maximum 10 to 12 minutes a game. And in that time, he's gonna have to play very well to keep the lead if they have it, or to not lose not to go in a more greater deficit. Just hold whatever point of the game in which they comes in at. They up by 5, leave the game with still up by 5. If he's down by 5, still leave the game down by 5.
The problem,
don't get a deficit.
The problem that you have there though is that he's such a great defender. He's such a great defender. Oh, his on-ball defense is really good, and his vision on the help defense is tremendous. If you notice that when they trap, he traps quick. So he defensively he's there. He just has to.
That's not going to be the issue. I know that for sure. It's going to be his offensive game, and that's going to be his ability to be able to maintain or don't to lose the lead. So just don't play as a deficit. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, come on, man. Just go to the basket, man. Go to the basket. Just stop going across the court.
Yeah, try to get a foul. Try to draw a foul.
Or pass the ball.
Yeah.
Especially, when you are playing with guys who can put the ball in the basket. It's not like you're playing with scrubs. These guys could actually put the ball in the basket if you give them the ball.
It's funny to say that. I'm watching him run, but he runs as if he's skipping. He doesn't like run with your feet goes with your heel to the forward motion. He skips. He runs like this, which I don't know. It's just a weird, like, it doesn't tell me to be like that's not an aggressive approach when you're at a point guard position, because you're playing mostly on your heels and not on your toes, and so you're not really looking for to take the offensive from an offensive standpoint. On your heels on defense is between your heels and the balls of your feet, is you want to basically be there, but on the offensive side you really want to be on your balls of your feet. And I see him, he doesn't run that way, which to me it takes away from his ability to be able to get around people, because you're not moving forward, you're still playing upright. And so that's just like his style of play that maybe limits him in his ability to be able to get past people. If he can play on his toes a little bit more.
If you notice that, don't you think that the professional basketball players and coaches would have noticed that?
We talk about this all the time, and you always say that, what they supposed to do? You said that's development. That's what the coach is there for, right? So I would think that they would see that. I would think they would be able to maximize or change up his style, or do things that can counter that.
Or maybe what you're seeing doesn't exist.
Possibly. But every time I see him, he's very upright. He's not on his toes, aggressive down. And when you're upright like that, you really are not playing in a way that's going to really be put an impact upon the player that's in front of you.
That uprightness that you're describing
Mm-hmm.
could also account for the fact, well, maybe I should say it this way: the fact that he dribbles so high could account for why he's
because he can't get past him. He dribbles. He's upright all the time.
he could be,
He's not down low.
because he does dribble high.
Man,
that might be why he seldom drives to the basket.
Because in the high dribble, you're gonna need the ball taken from you.
Yeah.
If you remember a couple of weeks ago, he did that crossover to that guy.
Oh yeah.
But it was down low.
Yeah.
It was down low.
Actually, it wasn't down low. He was still up. He was
lower.
He was lower. Yeah, he wasn't down low, but he was more in a hunch position,
Right,
so in an aggressive style. Yes, that was an aggressive style, and he was able to get to the basket. So it's more of developing that component of his game that's going to be able to get him to.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about tomorrow night?
Warriors. That's your boys, aren't they, Glenn?
Well, not when they're playing the Knicks, they're not.
That's your boy, huh?
Now when they're playing the Knicks, when they play the Knicks, I hate them.
Yeah. Whatever. So next 3 games: Golden State, Denver, Brooklyn. Monday, Thursday, and a Saturday. Not for nothing for the schedule, because they have a 2-day window before they play Denver, is more in their favor to win the game as if they had just 1 day in between. If they give them an opportunity to be, acclimate to the high altitude in Denver, which would be something that always is in Denver's benefit. Teams come in a day in advance, they just can't adjust to the altitude, and they already at an advantage at that point. But they have 2 days off before that, so maybe they can start off better, which keep them in the game a little bit better when they play them. Because Denver's going to come after them after what we did to them in the Garden.
Oh, by the way, before we go any further, the Knicks beat every team in the league this year?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
They beat every single team this year, at least once.
Yeah, because they beat Boston, beat Milwaukee, beat trounced Denver.
Every team. They beat every team this year.
Just beat the Kings.
Beat LA, both LA teams.
LA, that's right.
No, we didn't beat Golden State yet. We lost to them the last time we played them, which was a couple weeks back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so then okay, so I'm wrong. So that's the one team that we haven't beat yet, then, right?
Possibly so.
Because they beat New Orleans.
They didn't beat the Lakers. Oh, they did beat the Lakers.
Yeah, they did. Did they beat New Orleans?
Pelicans?
Yeah.
I don't think so. They lost the 3rd game of the season, and then recently.
But didn't they win their first game against the Pelicans?
They lost the first game against the Pelicans. It was a game 3 of the season. They lost twice to the Pelicans. So yeah, they didn't beat them neither. So I don't know where you got your facts from, Glenn.
No, I was just thinking. I was thinking that they got I thought they beat the Pelicans.
No, the 3rd game season they lost, and they played them that couple weeks back, and they lost too. That's when the Knicks didn't have everybody was hurt. Brunson was hurt that game.
It was close, but they at the end they folded.
No, yeah. So that was fine.
Interesting. All right. But anyway, for this week,
I have them as 1 and 2 this week.
So just beating the Nets.
Yep. Reason why I put that down at the time that I put it down, I didn't think OG was going to be back at this point. I figured he was going to be back a little bit later in March, but he's back now. Hopefully he has a little bit more effect. But when I put down, I already did my predictions for the rest of the year. So, but this week I put it as 1 and 2. I don't see a reason to change that neither.
Well, I would have said 2 and 1 If Steph hadn't come back the other night, being that Steph is back, I'm gonna say 1-2 also. They're not beating Denver, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna beat them twice in a row. I doubt it.
They're not beating Denver. If they beat Denver, then they'll be the champions this year. Denver is upset about the way they got beat in
and got punked basically because they was physical with Denver. They were physical with them.
Yes. I really can't see them beating Denver. They could be. I would have said 2-1 if Steph was still out, but Steph is back. I'm gonna have to agree with you, Trevor. 1-2. The Nets are just terrible. The three of us could beat the Nets right now. Yeah, just and they got all that wasted talent. Well, not all. They have one person that I would love to have on the Knicks.
Oh yeah, I want Mikal. I wanted him in the draft. So
who was that?
Mikal Bridges.
Oh yeah, that boy's
he would be the perfect shooting guard. You know that you would need because his length. Well, I'm not. He's not gonna go there. It doesn't matter.
Is he available next year?
No. Yeah, he got to be traded to come to the Knicks. That ain't gonna happen. So.
Hey, you never know. You said OG wasn't gonna happen. Remember?
Yeah, I didn't think dude was gonna let him go.
I told you. I said I believe it can happen. I said that up until they start talking about lawsuits. And then I said,
that was the other reason for it. I didn't think that was going to happen as well.
I said, now you suing me, and you want my player? Forget about it.
So it worked out for both teams. So
yeah, it worked out well. All right, I'm gonna say 1-2.
1-2. What are you saying, Jimmy?
I'd say 1-2 also. I'd like to say 2-0. No, not 3-0. Definitely not 3-0. The way they've been playing, I'd like to say 2-1, but I'll say.
If they were to go 3-0, I mean they possibly can roll off the next two teams after that is Detroit and Toronto, and three teams: Detroit, Toronto, and San Antonio. That's the 3 games after this. So.
Which should be 3 wins.
Yeah, right. So if they win these next weekend, it can go on a 9-game winning streak again. So that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
If they did something that crazy, then they're looking at 50 wins rather than 45.
Well, you said 45. I said 48. So.
Yeah, but I'm saying
right.
If they do what you just described, so right now we have 40 wins. That'll be 46 wins. That ain't happening.
Yeah, that will be something. But if it happens, we said it here first.
Okay, we'll take that.
All right, guys. Harlem2MSG signing off.